All right, folks, we got a question here about firearms training should be good. Hello, Ben. I recently did a firearms qualification at my department. I've noticed that ever since I've been shooting alongside my fellow officers every year, the females seem to struggle with consistent grip and speed. A lot of them tend to do poorly with pistols. My theory is that most women typically don't care and men make up the majority of gun culture. Okay, yeah, fair enough. Most of the time, remedial training is given to females in my department. I don't want to sound sexist. Why not? Why not, dude? As I'm sure plenty of women out there are better shooters than me. However, as a whole, they seem to be worse based on my observations. Yes? Do you notice any trends as a firearms instructor with female shooters? Yes, I do. Okay. Do you ever find yourself focusing on certain areas with them when compared to male shooters? Do you think they are possibly misrepresented due to them being a minority in the shooting community? Do you have any tips for those who are in training positions when it comes to teaching female students? Thank you. Well, I don't know about female specific tips. Tips I have would apply to a lot of people. But let's go through this bit by bit and parse it out, as you seem to be really afraid of offending people. Okay. A lot of them, like, first, a lot of women do poorly with pistols in your observations. Um, my theory is that women typically don't care and men make up the majority of gun culture. Yeah, that's a big part of it. It's like if you had men do makeup tutorials or something like that, they would do very poorly at it for obvious reasons. They're just not interested in that. Now, this, of course, it's not that there's no men interested in doing makeup. It's just that it's a much smaller subset. It's the same with shooting. There are just less women are interested in shooting. And especially when you have policing, and this will, men and women will be a thing, but there's a lot of cops that aren't interested in shooting. It's just something they do at work because they have to do it at work and they don't really want to do it outside of work. Um, okay, and that's the way it is. Okay. Most of the time, remedial training is given to females in my department. Okay. Yes. I haven't heard that specifically, but I mean, I think there's a lot of departments that they give remedial. What I hear is that remedial training will always be like the same people. If I talk to like police firearms instructors, they'll be like, oh yeah, it'll be like they'll like be able to name people that they work with. It'll be like, yeah, every time it'll be remedial. Um, sure. So what do you do about that? I mean, you've got the answer right in the question. When you say, what does he say? They're struggling with what is it? Consistent grip and with speed. Yeah. Like, what's the solution to that? You know the solution. It's they have to like there has to be some dry fire. Now, I don't think you're going to get them to dry fire and make them competitive shooters, nor would you necessarily want to. But you've got to get them to actually practice the skills like outside of work hours. You have to show them drivers like, yep, you can draw the gun and like build that consistent grip, show them a timer, and get them to work on that stuff just a little bit so you're not constantly doing this remedial training shit. Because if somebody like every time they come in to qualify, you need to do remedial training to get them to qualify, it's like, well, that doesn't sound real good as far as where their skills are. I don't think that's, if anything happens, like they need to use the gun, like that would be not too good, right? So getting them to dry fire, like getting them to work on the consistent grip, depending on what kind of restrictions you have on what you can do, maybe you can modify the gun to make it easier to grip, like add grip tape or something else if that's if you feel that's appropriate. Yeah, that's definitely gonna be helpful. And like in think like women on net are they're physically smaller, lighter, smaller hands. So like all of this stuff is going to be tougher like for women. So it's like you just have to recognize that, push the dry fire. Now the advantages I find with like again on average with women is like they don't already think they know how to shoot. Most dudes like have a pretty strong opinion about themselves. They already think, yeah, I know how to shoot. So women tend to be like more open to advice and like criticism and like things they can do to like be better. They don't already think they know it all. Like when it comes to shooting, you see that that is more of a male thing when it comes to shooting. Oh, fuck, I know how to shoot. It's like whatever. Okay, cool. But yeah, like you have the answer right in here. They have to work on like if they don't have a consistent grip coming out of the holster, everything's going to be pretty much impossible. The way that this is going to happen is with some sort of dry practice schedule that they'd have to keep up. I mean, at least a little bit. Um, yeah, I don't know why you're so worried about offending people, man. Anyway, that's my thoughts. If you have other people have other thoughts, I think that'd be for an interesting discussion. So put other thoughts down below. Might make for a fun video.